Good afternoon to all you amazing, beautiful souls out there. So, I know I'm having an absolutely amazing day. Hopefully you guys are. It's the sun's out to get the guns out. For all you Richmond fans, guess who's in front of me? Dustin Martin. He's just in front of me there. He obviously, yeah, secret squirrel stuff. He's obviously off to training now. He just pulled out, gave him the wave, and yeah, so all you Richmond fans, if I run out and I get parked into the car in front of me, we've got Mr. Dustin Martin, the Brownlow, and he's going to be the superstar at tomorrow's game. So that's for all you Richmond fans out there. So, and there I am. If I get out and knock on the window, all you Richmond fans will get to have a look. Mick Richards, how are you, buddy? How's things going? Hopefully you're surviving Bali. I'm sure that you are. I haven't heard much from you, man, but it's good that you're on. You've obviously sorted out your Wi-Fi and everything else. So, hello everyone else that's on here. Alan Willis, thank you. Everyone else, let me have a look. Hey, Izza from all the way from Bali. Got two people in Bali. So much love to you all. So, sitting down today, having a few different meetings and sessions. Had an amazing, good bro, been busy. Been busy, I'm sure you have. I was sitting down, having an amazing face-to-face coaching call with my personal VIP client, Gary Slade. I was going to say Gary V. And yeah, things were absolutely amazing. It was about 6:30. We're doing SP, and we're going really deep into emotion, understanding, breaking down all these life categories. And we're sitting down on the on the pier, or standing up on the pier, and it was just sunrise over in Melbourne. And guys, get down to the St Kilda pier just on sunrise. It's absolutely fucking amazing. Really, really special. So, what I want to share with you all, that over the time in collective cost me over $100,000. Yeah, I'm not going to give you all of it because I'd be crazy, but I'm going to give you an understanding, because if I teach you guys everything, I will teach you enough so you can take it and go and absolutely master your lives and go and, you know, rock it out and do whatever you guys need to do, which is fantastic. But I'm going to teach you, I'm not going to teach you at all, because then it's crazy for me to pay that money over, you know, I think it was over a 3-year period of what that value, and the value that I've got back from all of this, I've got times 10, times 20, times 30. You know, you can't put a price on it. Yeah. So the strategy is what I want you to talk about, and what I'm going to teach you about. I'm going to keep it very, very simple. Obviously, it's a lot more advanced the way I learned it, but I'm going to teach you in a way that you're going to be able to have an understanding, which is going to be able to give you transformation. Because what I learned, you really need to be advanced in mindset. You really need to be advanced in universal consciousness, meditation, if you want to call it spirituality. You really need to be advanced in what it's called is the matrix. Yeah, and what the matrix is the information that's around us, in us, flows in us, through us, around us, and it's everything. Yeah, and it's basically called energy, or the source. So what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to break it down. I'm not calling you stupid. I'm going to call it simple Simon, or stupid, simple stupid. And what I learned gave me amazing value in how to transform my life and be able to take it to a next existence. Is firstly, not reading something and then just letting it go, in, you know, reading it and then not forgetting about it. What you do in each thing that's something in your life that what you want to do, or for something that you might find, you know, that gives you attention, or you might have an interest towards, what you do is you will create a picture. You will create an internal representation, yeah? And with this representation of what you learned, or what you want to be, or you've read some part of the book, or so on and so forth, is that you'll close your eyes and you will see a picture, yeah? Firstly, you will see yourself in this picture, and of this lesson that you learned, this new teachings, excuse me, what I teach you. Like every time I teach a live stream, before I've done the live stream, or even throughout that time, or even after the live stream to sharpen it up, I will visualize myself in the learning. So whatever the learning is, yeah, and you can see yourself in the learning, and you see the lifestyle around it. what you do also as well, you change the melodies. Yeah, this is an NLP technique. NLP is the neuro-linguistics of the mind. So it's how to use the advancement of the mind. Neuro is the brain, linguistic is communication with me and you, and then programming is when you do it. I like to call it conditioning because we keep doing it. So when you change the melodies of this picture, so whatever you've learned, if you've had a visualization or you've had an epiphany or whatever it might be, what you do is you will start to create that picture. And that picture, you change the brightness up nice and bright, you change it down really dark, then you make it perfect. You change the volume to really high, to really low, to perfect. You change the clarity to really clear, to unclear, that back to perfect. You make the picture go far, you bring it close. So you're changing it all up anyway. So that's just part of it. Then what you'll do is you'll put a timeline. So obviously when you close your eyes and you take yourself out to a future pace or a future time, you're going to be reprogramming this learning, this visualization, this epiphany, miracle, whatever you want to call it, and you will float out into the future. Hopefully you don't want to go backwards, and you will drop this learning down whenever you want to bring it into your reality. So it could be, once you've created that learning, you've seen it. So you know what I love? If I see just a short, maybe power sentence or a really cool adverb or something like that, I will read it and I'll go, wow, that's going to bring a massive event, that's going to bring massive value to my life. So then I will create a visualization in my mind's eye. I will make it as as real as possible, with as much feeling as possible. And what I will do also, then, hey Karen, good to have you on, sister, long time no see. And Mr. David Tung, we still need to talk about regarding Seattle, December the 5th, and what we'll be learning there, David. This is one of the techniques from that. So as I've said, if you've missed it, every time you learn something, you will make a visualization from it. Yeah, you'll close it. Then what you'll do is you'll grab this visualization like there's a painting. So you'll put a banner around it. You've got your visualization. You'll grab it on each end, and then what you'll do is you will step away. You will step out of the visualization so you can see yourself achieving this. You can see whatever you've learned, whatever's come to you, whatever information has been drawn to you, and that is making it real. Because what happens is we're humans. This is called advanced learning techniques, yeah? And where humans failed is that they will read information and then that's it. And then the way they filter it isn't strong enough or isn't strong enough for them to be able to execute it. And their mind goes, okay, I've read some stuff. Yep, I've seen that. Yeah, whatever. Okay, let's move on. And unfortunately, if you're not building up a visualization, if you're not building up a strong enough internal representation, you aren't going to be physically, spiritually, energetically moved enough for you to get the result. So once you've visualized it, you've changed the melodies, and you've made it really, it starts to, because changing the focus, changing the brightness, changing what you hear, how you feel, the distance away from it, it really starts to concrete and itch into your mind. Then what you'll do is, say you want to achieve it in 6 months time, you will just float out in your mind's eye above your timeline to 6 months, and you'll let this visualization going down. It's very similar to planning future goals. Yeah, is another NLP technique. Then that's one part of what I learned, which was absolutely huge. And like I said, I'm keeping this quite simple because I'd be crazy if I was going to be able to give you guys everything, because then it would be like, why am I spending all that money? I can't give everything away. And another thing is, you probably hear me talk about this a fair bit in all my talks, yeah? That in every spare moment, to realign yourself, instead of watching TV, instead of picking your nose, instead of having a cigarette or a glass of Coke or beer, whatever, of course you need to still live, but the very important thing that you can do is you want to start breaking down every melody, and you want to start breaking down what is going through and how things are moving through of who you are. So what I did today, obviously I had my coaching call, fantastic. Then we went to a wholesaler, and even in that break of waiting, in between that, what was very powerful, I started to look at, okay, what do I need to do to get my health? Who do I need to be? How am I going to change that? So I was creating the steps and the formula with the emotional connection of who I need to be straight away, yeah? And what that was creating was, when people say, I've got no energy, I'm not motivated, I'm not feeling great, what happens with that is, because your programming, your internal driver is your programming is nowhere near strong enough, or the feeling for your desired outcome isn't strong enough, so so then you won't have the motivation, you won't have the energy, you won't have the drive. So once you can start to realign a day, so I'm going to the gym today, so or right now I should be saying, so what I realign is, okay, what is the state that I need to get into? What am I going to be training? How am I going to be training? You know, am I going to be, what food am I going to have it before? So how am I going to show up? What's the consciousness? What, you know, everything. What am I going to wear? Ladies, you'd love that. So all of these visualizations is taking you to a very empowered consciousness and identity of who you need to be. It's not self-development. This is how you get there every day. That's part of it. Then just say you've got a job interview, or you're going to work, or you're going to see a girlfriend, or you need to be around the family. You spend that 5 minutes to realign yourself, program who you need to be, how you're going to show up, what you're going to say, how you're going to stand, and everything. Because we know when we're going out, we're gonna talk about what we want to wear. Yeah. Well, how is that going to? Okay, it's going to make us look good, but how is that going to add massive value to us, or excuse me, or to the people around us? It isn't. So it's the same thing as the routine. Okay, cool, we're going out to dinner tonight. What am I going to wear? Every activity that you go to do, you're going to have all these other different activities. Okay, I'm going to go to this, I'm going to go there, I'm going to have a meeting with my clients. You're going to, not what you're going to wear, but how are you going to perform? How are you going to act every day? Like I said, the way I've learned this is a lot more detailed, but you have to be a lot more advanced from it. And like I said, guys, I'm not going to be sharing $100,000 worth of these skills. I'm going to be teaching you in a way that you're going to learn, because I can go really deep with this stuff and you'll be like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And a lot of it really comes down to a belief system. If I was telling you some of the stuff that's, what we can tap into and the energy that's around us, and, if you're talking about quantum field, you're talking about quantum linguistics, you guys will really, you'll really be shocked. Alan goes, playing with like techniques like this at the moment. Great to hear your message. I love it. Teaching next level. Awesome stuff, man. And just let these people go through. Isn't it nice when you let people go through and they actually wave? The world is becoming a better place. Let's see if this guy does it. No wave. There you go. I just put my foot in it. See, you expect too much from people. So another thing as well, which is part of which has become a huge technique as well, being able to become an advanced human being and be able for you to attract your goals. So this is a thing which when I first heard it, I went, bullshit. I'm not going to be able to, I'm not going to be doing that. That's stupid. Are you kidding me? Rah, do you think I'm an idiot? So as you know, speakers vibrate, yeah? So when you're hearing speakers vibrate. And when you have those speakers vibrating, it's energetically, like, it's different people vibrate at different vibrations. So people that are like people, or people that will get along with people, there's different vibrations. So for you to be able to, hey Grant, good to have you on, bro, with different vibrations where people are at, what you're going to see is that the different understandings of how you're going to attract what you want is by taking your energy up and vibrating and attracting to what you need. So the way you can tune yourself up, because everyone vibrates at a different energy, yeah? Even when you're asleep, even when you're dead, your body is still vibrating because your cells are still moving together. And then eventually, that's how obviously your tissue fades away. That's how you become dust, because everything is still vibrating. That's how it rots. That's how it starts to break up. So it's still creating energy. So this is the biggest thing that I found was a huge understanding in my growth, and how it really gives you an understanding of how to be able to move forward and how to really get that growth in life, is that you want to be able to send out a signal. So what my coach and one of my spiritual teachers taught me is that you want to be an antenna. So imagine you're sending an antenna out, a message to the woman you want to attract, yeah? Or ladies, the man you want to attract. You don't know exactly who that woman is, but you have a similarity, and all you are knowing is that you are setting out, so you are like an antenna. So imagine like a TV antenna, and you've got obviously the different radio stations. The different radio stations are your actual goals. So when you're sending out this different tune, this different frequency for your goals, that is like, a lot of people talk about, they find abundance and scarcity, they find that really hard. So if you try to, when I say try, because you're not going to do it, when you create resistance, or when it becomes hard, you're going to create more resistance. Yeah. And it's like putting out, it's not a wish or a dream, it's putting out an intention with the belief system, with the energy that you're putting out, that, okay, cool, so this is the people that I want to attract in my life. And you have an idea, but you don't force it, you don't put it in a box. Okay, this is the idea I have. And if the more you believe in yourself, and the more you can congruently do it, you are going to get the result that you desire. The less obviously you do it, you're not going to get it, because people go, oh, it's not working. I go, it's not because this is not working, it's because you're not working. And it's simple. One of the meditations I do with the team is you stand there and you're pulsating like an antenna, and you're attracting what you desire, what you want, and what you want in your life. Yeah. And it's a simple thing. Like I'll even be very honest with you guys. Grant, the absolute legend there, was looking at buying a vehicle off him, but for some reason the person that was funding for the vehicle, they changed their mind. And I tell you what, it cut me up, because it was like, he's an absolutely awesome person. I got along with him, but it was just like, well, someone else is at a different vibration. They weren't seeing the vibration that me and him are on, and all you can do, you can't sit there and go rah rah rah. You just have to break away from it and shake up, because otherwise that vibration, that energy will end up taking you down, and it really starts to bring you down. Yeah. So a lot of the other things that you need to understand as well in a relationship, that people that really work on themselves, and they take themselves to another they take themselves to another understanding, or they're learning, they're working on themselves, they go to a retreat, and when they go back home, or when they're back with their partner, the thing what happens is, this person is on a lower vibration. This person is constantly, because what happens, your thoughts create the chemical and energetic frequency. So your thoughts will either allow your body to vibrate higher, or it won't vibrate. Yeah. And it's your programming where it all starts from. And this is the thing, people want to change, and they think they need to do it a little bit here and there, and why they stop, why they waste their money, and why they don't get the results is because it's the start and stop syndrome. It's the start and stop syndrome. And that is not programming. Programming is a constant. It's called neuroplasticity. That's a big understanding of what I'm telling you about. So neuroplasticity is when your neuropaths, or your neuro waves in your brain, or in your mind, whatever, start to form, and that creates a habit. And the way you do that is consistency. The way you're doing that is over and over again. That's the way you create the patterns. That's the way you create habit. And unfortunately, people will start and stop. And this is the biggest thing that I learned. And I'm only going to really give you the basics of it. Yeah, I'm going to give you the real chunked up part of it. What happens is, people will start to complain. They will start to bitch. They will start to, moan and whatever. And the problem with that is, when you bitch, when you complain, when you backstab, when you lie, you actually outdo all the good work. You outdo all your habits. Because I don't know if you guys have ever learned to create a habit, or you've gone and learned something, and then you've got into an argument, or something happens, or whatever it might be. Give me a second. Whatever it might be. So all these things start to happen, and these things start to rock out. And maybe you've learned how to dance, maybe you've learned how to fight, maybe you've done all that, and then you get into an argument, or you're bitching your friends and the rest of that, and then you go, what's happened to my habit? It actually undoes all the good work. That's why that negative energy, backstabbing, arguments, low vibration, you really need to be mindful, because that starts to undo your neuroplasticity. It starts to reprogram all the good habits. And that's why people find it so hard. Once they stop, and then they go to get back on again, they go hard. And guess what happens, people? They go to a doctor and say, doctor, you know what? I'm finding it really hard. I'm doing everything, but it's not working. Bullshit. So the doctor goes, okay, you know what? Let's take the pain away. So let's give you medication, yeah? And then what the medication's going to do, the medication's going to numb you down. And the medication's going to make you feel, numb. You might feel better for a little bit, but you're not, it's not solving the problem. So with all this in, let me just park the car. With all this in mind, then what do you think happens? People take antidepressants. People take, they really struggle really bad, yeah. And what happens through that understanding through this, that people go, okay, I'm spending the money, I'm doing this, why isn't it working? It's not supposed to, it's not working. So then they start, it becomes toxic. That is the start and stop. So people, you don't need to go and waste $100,000. Like I'm just giving you little bits and pieces of the stuff that I've learned, but you have a routine every day, and you know what? You get greater results and you do less. Like, why wouldn't you do that? So this is what I want to ask you. Would you prefer to sleep in, or would you prefer that feeling to sleep in, that's good, or the feeling to grow, to be happy, to have everything you want, to create the money, to be in control of your mind, to be a good person to be around, so on and so forth? Or do you want to feel sorry for yourself and you want to just sit there and then, do you know what I mean, sleep in, I don't know what I want to do, complain, and the rest of it? You know, you really need to think about that, yeah? So another thing is that you want to create an understanding, and there is a very advanced teaching with this, and I'm only going to just teach you a very basic understanding from it. It is because otherwise, because what I am doing as well, I'm creating a program that I'm going to be going very deep, how you become a magnet to everything. So with abundance, with health, with love, with whatever it needs to be, that what happens is there is a way that you become an absolute magnet to everything you desire. And people will be like, oh my God, this person's blessed, this person's something, because what I'm going to teach you, I'm just going to give you an understanding of it. It is that you want to have always an inward understanding, that you're putting out a signal. Like, you know, when they talk about imagination, remember, and I'll keep teaching you this, imagination is real. It's a guide. It's not imagination. You've been conditioned to believe it's not real, because your imagination is actually your intuitive power. People have told you, the powers above have gone, oh my God, we can't let people know how powerful they are. Your imagination is not imagination. It's not make-believe. So the more you can play make-believe, they say, the more you can play full out, the more you can play and let go and just choose to be, that is when everything becomes sexy. So you want to always, you will become a magnet for what you desire when you are constantly realigning, focusing on what you desire. And what it is, you are like, you've got like a gravity, like a gravitron. It's like you've got this, or this energy. You become, you say to yourself, the intention, I'm open, abundance comes to me, flows through me, I am abundant, everything becomes easy and effortless, I'm abundant to whatever, health and wellness, I'm abundant to love and so on and so forth. And you actually put the intention out. The more you can actually consciously keep focusing on, I'm abundant, I'm a magnet, I attract. You say it, but you believe it, but then you actually visualize that you are drawing it. Like I have got this magnetic pull, and you can see this flux, you can see this energy coming to you. This is absolutely huge, yeah? And yes, there is more of an advanced way. I'm just giving you guys the breakdown, keeping it simple, because I want people to be able to come and to teach them right. Because guess what? Teaching like this, yes, you get great content, and yes, you can go away, but it's up to you what you do when you go away. So that's why I'm creating these programs. That's why I've got the True Authentic Reality. We've got the retreats, we've got the online coaching, we've got the coaching, so on and so forth. You know, and then we've got the new program called Own Your Shit in Style, that I'm going to be teaching you how to have balance and great success in all areas of life. Yeah, the True Authentic Reality is very advanced. You know, so Alan, I'd love to speak to you about that as well, and everyone that's on here as well. We've got Chucky as well. As you know, Chucky, your good mentor, Chris Cameron is part of that, and also is Brad there on the True Authentic Reality. So these are the things that are going really deep into understanding, breaking people's psychology, breaking people's, you know, how they tick, and really taking them to an absolute another level. Yeah, so it's very, very important. So what I want to say, guys, I just want to give you a bit of a taste test for that. If you want to know more about what we do and how we're getting these great results, I'm going to be obviously creating that to go to really take everything to the next level and above. And what I can really just tell you, we're going to be breaking down the jigsaw puzzle, the steps, the strategies, the consciousness, the knowing, the identities, the character, absolutely everything in life that you need to be. Yeah. So, you know, I always say, you know, there's a person, I'm driving a car, but what about if you're an expert and you knew how to drive the car like an expert? Would you get better performance out of the vehicle? Of course. And that's exactly like you, that you're just driving at the moment, cruising around, just existing. What about if you become an expert about driving your vehicle? You're going to get a lot more out of yourself. You're going to, you know, the drive's going to be a fantastic, the path, the journey, and that's exactly like our lives right there. One thing I'll leave you with as well is one thing that has absolutely turned my life around is when I'm visualizing, when I'm realigning my thoughts, my feelings, my beliefs, and so on, and then I'm actually writing it into existence as many times as I can throughout the day, putting some music on, closing my eyes, building up that emotion and role playing it, then visually walking into what I want to see, vision board, business plans, planning, and then doing that. But this is the thing. This is what I'm going to leave you with. There is information, but you know, when I learn something, what I will write down and why I do live streams or why I put posts is because I will commit to, I've learned this information. Now, how am I going to teach myself and someone else how I'm going to get this information and get results in my life? That's what people, that's where they go. I've got this information, but what do I do now? Most people do nothing. So once you can learn something straight away, you commit to, okay, this is how I learned it. I'll send an email to my coach, or I'll send it to someone else. This is how I'm going to use this information, and this is how I'm going to bring results into my life. You know when you're cheating, you know when you're not, you know when you're not believing it, you're just writing it. Or when I say to my coach, hey, I learned this is how I'm going to get it. You go, bow, bow, not good enough, start again. Yeah. So if you guys have watched this, and obviously if you've missed it as well, go back. There's some absolute crackers. So every information that you learn, people, apply it, write down, send a post, do whatever, or write it, put it up on your wall. This is how I'm going to learn that information. Now I'm going to commit, and that's how I'm going to role play it. And the difference between winners and losers is application of information. Okay, guys, this was just a bit of a taste test, because what I'm going to be teaching you all is that I'm going to be creating, like I said, we've got the True Authentic Reality online course, so everyone that's around the world can still get on, and I'm creating Own Your Shit in Style. So if you want to know more about that, if you want to give balance, I'm all about balance, having balance in life. You don't need to be having these peaking, different life areas and be a multimillionaire, but do you know what I mean? That you're overweight, or you can have this amazing body and you've got 2 cents in the bank account, or you've got these results but you've got a toxic environment. So it's all about balance. So if you want to know more about Own Your Shit in Style, get in contact with me. We've already got an amazing crew happening with that. Obviously, we've got, you guys know what we've got. We've got the online coaching. We've got the Man's Only Unleash Your True Masculine. We've got Beauties and the Beast Ultimate Polarity men's and women's retreats, private coaching. We do everything so we can bring out the best in others. Yeah. So take care, guys. I'll be speaking to you soon. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll be sharing this tomorrow at 10 a.m. We've got an absolute cracker of a live stream with the 2 Nats and Elaney, so we're bringing it all together. You guys take care.